I'm sure that if we were to bring all the people whose lives you have touched in the course of your stay here, this room would be too small to accommodate all of them. Because you're such a generous person, very compassionate, you reach out to all people, and I know that even before you started your day going to the office, you would have helped some people at home. Some people would come to his house at 5 a.m. and he comes from mass, he finds them there. He attends to them, then he comes to the office. So you're like that river, that water flowing out of the temple, and wherever it goes, it gives life. And it is our hope that as you move on from here, you will flow like that water flowing out of the sanctuary of the Lord's temple and touch more lives there.
Dear friends, all protocols observed. I know we've been here for a long time. One of the things that I said to the organizers is that please no speeches. That's what I had said. So obviously they did not obey me. Because what I would love to do is to dine with you and even to dance with some of you. Some of you have been here for 8 years, I've never danced with. Now is the occasion for me to dance with you. So yes, all protocols observed. I did not prepare any speech because really, as I have said, I didn't want any speeches. I do get emotional, a little bit emotional when people start talking about me. And all the more reason why I didn't want even anything of this kind. I remember when Professor Piri left this place, I don't know, maybe there was something prepared for him. I don't recall, maybe before I came in, because I came on the 2nd of May, 2015. But before that, I was appointed in January, and I was asked by the Episcopal Conference to be coming every week once to understudy the Vice-Chancellor who was in place at that time. So I don't know if anything was prepared, but definitely when I came in May, there was nothing that we prepared for him. Maybe that was my fault. But I didn't want anything big for myself, because I do believe that things do speak for themselves. The mistakes that we have made together over the last 8 years cannot be hidden. They will be there for people to see and touch. The successes that we have managed, again, together, is not about me. Again, those will be there for people to see. I would like, at this juncture, to say to you, my brothers and sisters, thank you. Thank you for what you have been to me. Because without your cooperation, we couldn't have achieved what we have achieved together. So it's not about me, it's about all of us. It's about concerted efforts from staff here, admin, support, academic staff, students, our dear students. I don't know if there is any representation from the Students' Union, and even those who are from affiliated institutions. I know there are people from ICI here, from maybe Kachebet as well, from the Catholic Secretariat, all those people that we have worked together. So let's look at the successes, the little successes that we have managed to have over these past 8 years as successes not for one person. The environment has been conducive for us to achieve what we have achieved. So Mama Menendinganene Ngizikomo.
Management, priests, religious men and women present, the academic staff, support staff, and all invited guests that are in here. First, let me briefly repeat the apologies that have been given, but I will add that those that I'm representing, and that's the Chancellor himself and the Chairman of the University Council, and indeed the other bishops that were supposed to be here, the owners of the institution, would have loved to be here, but unfortunately they are held up by other commitments, as we heard. And then we already have received apologies from the members of the University Council that are not present here, and actually one of them is bereaved, Dr. Matthews Ntumbuka, who has lost his brother. But they would have loved to be here with us tonight. And for a very obvious and good reason, because of the nature of the evening today. And so, just like those that have spoken here, I too did not prepare any speech, because when I left Lilongwe to come here where I stay, I was only coming to be one of those that should be here this evening, and not to speak to the guests or to speak to this assembly. But I've been a victim when those apologies were given, and the lady that I was coming here, they said, "Can you go and speak on our behalf?" And so, having now given those apologies, I will be speaking on behalf of the bishops and then on behalf of the University Council. So what I'm communicating to you is coming from these two higher bodies that own this institution and that run this institution. First, it is word of gratitude to you, Father George, Dr. Buleya, for several reasons here, and I'm happy that the one who spoke on behalf of the academic staff or on behalf of the community here did enumerate a lot of them, and so he has lessened my work. But because I heard the bishops make comments and members of the university also make comments, I will just group them and try to summarize why they have a word of gratitude to you, Reverend Dr. George Buleya. First, for the bishops, they are very grateful to you for your humility to accept and take up the appointment when they appointed you to come to the university. I know we have obedience in the church, but you could also have a lot of reasons for you to excuse yourself and say either that you have been to national duties before and so you would have loved to take a break for yourself, or maybe that the position that they were appointing you to take was not something that you were ready to take at the time. But what they saw in you is the humility that you demonstrated, as you had already also demonstrated in the appointments that they gave you earlier on. And the second aspect that you wanted me to mention is your skills in leadership, and the kind of leadership that has been described here, visionary leadership. The bishops, and then coupled with the University Council members, are able to trace wherever you have been, Father. You mentioned here that you have been to St. Peter's, and if you went to St. Peter's, people will be able to say, this came here because of Father George. You have been to the Catholic Secretariat. Those of us that are there are able to see the Secretariat before you and the Secretariat after you. Very different. So your kind of visionary leadership is what they are grateful for. And then your developmental mind. And not just being wordy, talkative in meetings, but that you are very practical. And I think a lot has been mentioned here of what you have been able to do and achieve together, indeed, as you mentioned, together with those that were around you here at the university. And so they are very grateful. And then, last but not least, that indeed you heard you heard them when they sent you here, the bishops appointing you here, that they had wished that the institution retain Catholic identity, the Catholic identity. And this is what they have been able to see as you led this institution. But as a Catholic church or Catholic institution, we always have our own ethos, our own ethics, and our own standards. Members that are present here will agree with me that not only universities, but any school that is called Catholic, whether it is primary or secondary school, the standards that are set there are always unique. And this you are able to take it from wherever your predecessors left from, and then you took it to higher levels. And the bishops are grateful, Father, for the achievements that you have been able to accomplish here.
Koja tabona mamuna kumwenye mangwana. Kuya kopaya tagoja tabona mamuna kumwenye mangwana. Chinafuna mbale, chilipo, chinafuna mbale, chilipo, chinafuna mbale, chilipo, chinafuna mbale, chilipo, chinafuna mbale, mwenye chinabwera, chinafuna mbale. Chinabwera, chinafuna mbale, mazi chinabwera, chinafuna mbale, chinabwera. Tagoja tagona mamuna kumwenye mangwana. Sima yako pika tagoja tagona mamuna kumwenye mangwana. Chinafuna mbale tubera mbalango, chinafuna mbale mama. Chilipo, chinafuna mbale tubera mganga, chinafuna mbale mama. Chilipo, chinafuna mbale mazizi gabwera, chinafuna mbale. Chinabwera, chinafuna mbale, mazizi gabwera, chinafuna mbale, chinabwera. Yeah, 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 yeah. Chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale. Chinafuna mbale, chinafuna mbale. Super Lucky Star, uchikwa watu mwende. Wadwa wako pika tago mwea tago na mamunako mwenye mangwana. Wadwa wako pika tago mwea tago na mamunako mwenye mangwana. Chinafuna mbale tubera mbaliko, chinafuna mbale mama. Chilipo, chinafuna mbale tubera mganga, chinafuna mbale mama. Chilipo, chinafuna mbale kwenye jigabwera, chinafuna mbale. Chinabwera, chinafuna mbale, mazizi gabwera, chinafuna mbale. Chinabwera, chinafuna mbale. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Chinafuna mbale, 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 chinafuna mbale. Super, 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 super. Cha. Ine nongo nangu ine. Kunedwanga sande. Anga kabedi mbalalata.
Over all the years we have been together, though it's hard to go, these days can't last forever. So we're here to say goodbye, here for one last time, before we step outside